Hello again and welcome back for another video in our series about selecting the number and location for in situ tests, drilling and sampling. So far, we have discussed how to determine the number of locations and the minimum depth of investigation. Today we'll explore the additional factors that influence the locations of our tests and boreholes. This will complete our understanding of how to plan an effective subsurface investigation. Why is it important to consider all the factors when determining the locations for our tests and boreholes? How can these factors affect our investigations? In this video, we are going to answer these questions. Make sure you watch it until the end to have a good understanding of how to plan an effective investigation program. Before we dive into these factors, let's quickly recap what we have already covered. Remember, in 2 videos ago, we talked about the key factors that influence the selection of the number of locations for tests and boreholes. And in the previous video, we talked about the minimum depth of our investigations. If you haven't seen those videos yet, I recommend checking them out. The links are in the description for your convenience. Let's begin with subsurface conditions. The type of soil and rock that we expect to find will greatly impact where we choose to do our tests. For example, if we know there's a layer of soft clay, we might want to focus more testing in that area to get a better understanding of its properties. If we know that there are underground utilities, we must choose the locations of our boreholes in a way that we do not compromise them. Next, let's talk about anticipated uncertainty.